Going live, going live, going live, going live. Big circle, going round and round and round, going live, going live. Yeah, I'm live. I'm live. What's else happening? Anything else happening at the moment? I'm live. 7 seconds in, 10 seconds in, 11 seconds in. I am live. Welcome to another Saturday evening of live madness. That's all I can describe it as, live madness, because anything can happen. Usually does happen on a Saturday night on this channel. It's complete live madness. Anybody, anyone, anything, anywhere can come up with a topic. We talk about it. Usually ends up with something stupid. Terry's quick beer reviews. Hello, Jonathan, mate. Hello, Terry. Hello, mate. Nice always to hear from you, Terry. You're a star. Richard Elliott says, Hail Bill Beer Sage. There you go. I've always thought myself being herbaceous, mate. Bit of sage. Welcome to another chit chat or whatever you want to talk about. I'll start the ball rolling, but Matt Barker has just put in. I was just about to say something, but Matt Barker's just put in a comment. Fleece. I know the Golden Fleece, Matt. It's opposite Marks and Sparks, near the Shambles. On the Beer Sage backpack full of goodies from the House of Trembling Madness, plus a pork pie and pasty for tonight. Cheers. Hope you enjoyed York today, because York is a fantastic city to go and visit and enjoy and to drink beer and really have a good time. We will meet there. Matt, Richard, we will meet there. Miller, all right, geese. Hello, Aaron Miller. How are you doing? Hope you've had a good week. Hope you've had plenty of beers. Hope you're going to crack open some beers. You might have crack open some beers, just bring in the Saturday night. So, nice to know that people are here. I'm going to start off with, I've handed some beers at work about 2 weeks ago, and they were all from Aldi. And these beers, well, I've just reviewed them. They'll be coming up on the channel this week. And I just reviewed them. And I have to say to you, boys and girls, how impressed I was with them. I think they were pittance. They were about 99 pence, something stupid. And I've got the best one of the lot here, just to show you. And it's that one. Jesse James. Now, this one was in Aldi, according to the fellow who he made at work who got us in. And he bought us 4 beers in, and they've all been good. They have all been good beers. So they do this little craft beer kind of like selection in Aldi. I did a coffee porter, which I thought was excellent. I did a honeyed beer, which I thought was really, really good. And I did a dry hop lager, which I thought was pretty exceptional. So get yourselves down to Aldi, pick some of these kind of like cheap, kind of like beers up. Richard Elliott, he says, I can't believe York Brewery has been gutted by Black Sheep, bulking up on proper York beers while I can. It's a shame about York Brewery. I'm a fan of York Brewery, Richard. I've always been a fan of York Brewery. My favourite beer from them has always been the Centurion Ghost Ale, which if you're in York at the moment, and at the Yorkshire Terrier, which is slightly down below from Trembling Madness. And yeah, I'm like you, but it's just the way it is at the moment. I mean, York Brewery do some, whether or not the popularity of Brew York has affected York Brewery, I don't know. It's a question open to debate there. Ryan Bryson Payne with a double barrel name. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. Nice to see, well, not you, but see your comment. Nice to know that you're here watching me, mate. It's always appreciated. Matt Barker says, definitely meet there, mate. Yeah, we will. Definitely. I go to York quite often. So, I'm pretty easy trying to, to organise something there. I know York very well, and I know, we'll sort something out, definitely. If we can't get to your area, hotels, which is true. There is a lack of hotels. Day out on York, Brew York for a couple of beers, beer reviews, food, and we all choose. Yeah, Fantastic. I'll do a live beer review with you in Brew York. Even we can do the Toncoco Imperial Stout if you want, or any of them. I'm up for that, mate. Matt Barker says all having Thief Peculiar is a fantastic beer. Most probably be at Thief. It is a lovely beer. It's a big seller. It's the biggest seller from them, and it's the recipe is years, is decades old. It's hardly ever changed, and it's still a quality beer. If Matt, if you're there, if they do Black Sheep Rig Welter, check that one out as well. That's a lovely beer, lovely dark beer. It's all from the same family at the end of the day. And yeah, York is definitely one of the great places in the country. When I first moved up north, we first visit to York, it was always special. It's always special, York. It's just got a special place in my heart. And I've always said if I ever move south any time in years to come, I would always miss York. It's got a lovely feel to the place, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place to go out. And even if you go out and you kind of like you go out to restaurants on a Saturday night or anything like that, it is a beautiful place to go out and check out all these manner of different shops, and it's got a real nice atmosphere to the place. It's something very special, and it's very something what a lot of cities I think in the UK are missing. Richard Elliott says, I wouldn't trust Matt's reviews. He thought Theakston's tasty like hobgoblin. The problem is, with most people, with Matt, with Richard, with anybody who's been drinking too much craft beer, I know I have. I know that you tend to kind of like not look down on, the traditional stuff, but you tend to forget about the traditional stuff, tend to forget how good the traditional stuff is. And I suppose, you could easily compare some Theakston stuff like Hobby, but it isn't. Your palate changes, and your palate's looking for something else when you have craft beer all the time. And I tend to try and kind of break it down, and I tend to go and try to take a step back and look at more traditional beer. Big colourful cans for extortionate amount of money you get in your bottle shops. So I tend to, it's always nice to have craft beer, but don't forget the kind of like, the very much traditional beers are always there, and they need our support, and they need us to go out there and buy them and enjoy them just as the latest, even if not more important than that. Matt Barker says, lovely beer, great classic real ale, one of the best sold Peculiar. In Trembling Man is sponsored, we all choose one each and all buy each other's recommendation. I think that's a great twist. I think that's a great twist as well, because you may be surprised with my Trembling Man is you don't know what I'm going to come out with. Matt Barker says, I totally agree. It's taken 2 classic ales to come back to me, and I haven't had those in a while. Yeah, I think you have to take a step back now and again. It's so easily to go out and just buy loads and loads of craft beer and review it. I don't approach it like that. I tend to have a phase, if you know what I mean. Have a phase of different beers, different styles. So you will find specialty beers, Wander Beyond, Verdant, the expensive stuff, the good stuff. Then I tend to take a step back and think, well, let's go to try a different place to shop beer. Let's go to a bottle shop what's maybe struggling, or go back to a more traditional brewer and try some of their beers. And even though they're not strong beers, they're traditional real ales, and do them. Then maybe take another step back, look at lagers and do some lagers and do some ciders. For me, I like to mix it up. I like to because let's face it, you could do craft beer every week, and I honestly think it might be quite boring, because you'd be coming up with the same taste notes all the time. So it's important that you mix it up, especially if you've got a channel to mix it up, and have different styles of reviewing as well. I tend to do little different styles of reviewing. If I've got a backlog of beer, you find that my reviews will be short because I'm trying to get through a load of beer. But if I get longer, I'm running out of beer. Richard Elliott says Amanda Holden. Oh, do we have to? I don't really want to. I don't really want to talk about that. We know what she's like. She's an old crustacean. She doesn't belong on this channel. She belongs on my dartboard. Picture of her just throwing darts at her all day. I'll be quite happy with that. Drinking a load of beer and just throwing darts at pictures of her. Psst, psst, psst. Matt Barker says, what I noticed about the Trambling Madness was top shelf and bought a couple of Samuel Smiths. Matt, I'm a massive fan of Samuel Smiths. What beers did you get from Samuel Smith's beers did you get? I'm a big lover of their chocolate stout, the organic chocolate stout. And if you haven't got that, if we meet up in the Trembling Madness, that might be my choice because it is an absolute belter. It's a belter of a beer. Somebody always has to bring up. I'm not gonna mention Amanda Holden no more. Sorry, I couldn't resist lowering the tone. It's all right, Richard, but no, I'm not gonna do it at the moment. Unanimous decision. I'm not gonna mention it. So there you go. Yeah, I know. I've just seen that Aaron Miller comment. I'm not mentioning it. This is a beer channel. Let's get back to basics. Right, the beer I'm drinking is an Aldi beer, and it is a coffee porter, and it is not bad at all. It's lovely. It's called Dark Matters. It's produced by Brains out in Wales, who do one of my favourite type of lager beer hybrids, if you want to call it that. It's the SA Gold, which I always was a big fan of. You can still get it in the cheap stores, that you get it in B&M's as well, I think. But I always levitate towards it because I think it's a refreshing beer, and I think it's a beer which, for the price, you can drink a few of and really, really enjoy. So if you haven't had it, Brains SA Gold is a cracker. It's a belter. So the beer, yeah. So I was saying, this is Dark Matters. It's a kind of like a creamy coffee porter. It's about £1 a bottle. It's worth getting hold of. It's worth trying. It's it's really, really nice. Matt Barker says, always heard great things about the chocolate stout. I got 2 of them. Never had it. Good man. It is really, really good. Check my review out, Matt, on that. It's funny when you get to do beer. It's very rare. Now and again, you get a beer which really, really kind of like blows you away without, you're not expecting it, just to blow you away. And that chocolate stout, the organic chocolate stout from Samuel Smith's, it was beautiful. It really was. It was lovely. Fantastic stuff. It was cool. Richard Elliott says there's a shortage of York Brewery Centurion's Ghost. Shame about that, Richard. I'm a big fan of that beer. It's their best beer. It is an absolute gem of a beer, that. If you can't get it, cool, anything like that, then just get hold of it. We've got someone from America. We've got an Arizona tourist. Hello from Arizona tourist. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for watching my unique British sense of humour in America. I really, really appreciate that. So thank you for, putting your comment in and that. Maybe it could be a start for me breaking into America. like you do. Matt Barker says that beer used to be called Spill the Beans at Aldi. I'm not sure if it is the same beer. That's what I thought, Matt. Um, it certainly doesn't, if I can remember rightly, it doesn't really taste like the same beer which you can get in Aldi. Arizona Tourist, if you're still watching, um, tell me exactly what great American beers do you recommend? Um, and any English people still watching me, hopefully, can anybody recommend where I could get a bottle of Pliny the Elder from the Russian Brewing Company in America? Can you still get it? Can you get it in the UK? Let us know in the comments. I'd like to know because it's one beer I would love to try. Um, this other one open in a minute. This is Magic Rock's gluten-free IPA. This is the Phantasma. I've had this before. I quite liked it, and you know, the thing is about Magic Rock beers, I like the cans as well. I'm a big fan of the can design, as you can see. It's lovely, isn't it? It's lovely design that. I do like that can design. It's great stuff. So with the old brains. Yeah, it's nice. Not bad at all. So anybody out there, tell me what beers you're drinking, what stuff. Massive fan. Matt Barker says, massive fan of Brew York Imperial Tonko. It even got voted 9th best stout in the world. I bought 5 of them. You naughty boy, Matty. And was a quid cheaper at Trembling Madness than Brew York. That's a bit interesting. Yeah, I haven't reviewed the Imperial yet, but I do like the original Tom Coco. It's lovely. It's lovely from Brew York, the original one. I did like that. Arizona Tourist, it is 10:30 a.m. So it's breakfast time in Arizona. It's breakfast time in Arizona. So it's still Saturday in Arizona. It's still today, isn't it, in Arizona? Are you near the Arizona desert? You know, we don't get creepy crawlies in the UK, Arizona tourists. So tell us what creepy crawlies have you got in your garden? Thank you very much. Richard, got some Brew York. Mostly looking forward to not. Oh, you got a designated driver, Richard. That's best. Matt Barker, gluten-free, a solid beer. Yeah, the reason why I go for gluten-free beers is that you need to really offer, brewers need to offer alternative for gluten-free. I'm not sympathetic to vegans. To be honest, I hate vegans. We can change the Amanda Holden hatred to vegan hatred for me, because gluten-free, it's a medical condition, and God help anybody who loves their beer and gets diagnosed with having to have a gluten-free diet. I'd hate to have a gluten-free diet. I really would. It would be horrendous, the type of diet to have that, especially if you're a beer drinker. But where vegans are concerned, it's out of choice, and I think they're just completely potty and out of their heads for doing that. But gluten-free, I've got a lot of sympathy for, so that's why I'll review them. Arizona Tourist, I'm having coffee first. Pancakes, maple syrup. That's what you Americans have, isn't it? Pancakes, maple syrup. And then beer. What beer are you having in Arizona Tourist? What great American beer are you having? Tell me exactly what you're having. We would love to know. Everybody would love to know what the Americans drink at the moment. All we get is posts of Bud Light and Pabst Blue Ribbon and all that, but there must be some decent stuff, surely. Maybe Sierra Nevada, Stone. Stone Walker is a favourite of mine. So tell us what exactly beers you're drinking. It's always nice to know what beers people are cracking open tonight. As far as Theakston's are concerned, Matt and Richard put up about Theakston's. Peculiar is a favourite of mine, but my big favourite from Theakston is the XB. It's a lovely bitter. If you get that in the bottle, it's lovely. I'm not going to mention that. Don't wind me up, Matt. I'll ignore that comment. We're not going to go down that route tonight. I'm just not going to do it. Uncle Terry from Terry's Quick Beer Reviews and most probably bloody unsubscribe to me. So I'm not going to do it. It's just not a thing to do. It's just not a thing to do. I'm not going to go down that route. Sorry, Matt. We could talk about when we're out, when we meet up, but not tonight. I'm sorry. If it costs me views, it costs me views. I'm just fed up with her. That pissed off with her. I wish I never mentioned her. I do. Funny. Yeah, it's not bad. Not bad at all. So, I'm off to Spain in 2 weeks' time. It's counting down now. 2 weeks' time, I'm off to Spain. So I won't be doing a live thing for a couple of weeks. So bear with me. I will be back, tanned, whatever. I think we've got the last live thing next week to do. Anyway, anybody who's been to the Costa del Sol out there, I doubt the Arizona tourist has been to the Costa del Sol. Anybody who's been to the Costa del Sol, please tell me where the best bars are. I've done a couple of bars, but anybody's Medina or Benalmádena, or you want to call it that, tell us where the best bars are. I saw Matt. Matt is a very well-travelled person. Richard most probably is the same as well. So if you've been to the Costa del Sol, where the best bars are, I'm very much interested to see what you put up, because I will go there and frequent it and do beer reviews from there, because that's what I do when I'm abroad. I just do beer reviews. Sod the weather, sod the sunbathing. Lucas has just contacted Arizona tourists. Arizona, I have friends from Michigan who argue they make the best beer in the USA. What brewery is that in Michigan? I mean, the USA is awash with fantastic brewers. It's. I don't think there is a country like, well, maybe Belgium. Belgium be close, more than close, I would say, for decent beer as well. But yeah, for hoppy IPAs, which America is renowned for, on every corner it seems to be in America. So tell us. Arizona Tourist says, I like German beer. I'm a big fan of German beer, Arizona Tourist. Arizona Tourist, what is your favourite German beer? I know what mine is. My favourite German beer is what most people don't like, and that is the Senkerla smoked beer. I like the oak smoked Ike. Get hold of a bottle of it, double bock it is. It's absolutely beautiful. But I do like also Schneider Weiss's and Aventinus Eisbock, which is a belter of a beer. That is beautiful. Beautiful. That is a cracker. So if you have that Arizona Tourist, it's a lovely beer. What other German beers? My favourite wheat beer is the Weinsteffen Hefeweiss beer, which you can get in most supermarkets. I just think that wheat beer is a lot better than anything else, if you know what I mean. So yeah. Richard's put something up. Let's see what it says. Richard, have you reviewed Arrogant Bastard? I have. I've reviewed it. It's under my American beers playlist. It's there somewhere. I did review it in the can, which I got from, funny enough, from the Trembling Madness. And I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great beer. Great beer. I wish I kept the can, but I've never kept the can. But no, I did enjoy that. That was a lovely beer. I haven't had the Little Bastard, which is a smaller half-strength one, but I will look for it. Arizona Tourist, USA beer is it's the watered-down pissing all the time. Not necessarily Arizona. Surely. There's some big American brewers out there. Stone is a favourite. Sierra Nevada is a favourite for me. Firestone Walker has always been, a great brewer. The thing is, the problem is USA for me feels like it's the same as what is in England. You got a culture which is split down the middle regarding beer consumption. you get half of it's lager. Well, most probably three-quarters of the population's lager drinking, and the 25% left is the proper beer drinking. Matt Barker will never forget. I went to visit a friend in Detroit, Michigan, and he took me into his local supermarket. There was two massive aisles full of beer, one aisle just full of local Michigan beers. That sounds fantastic, Matt. But of course, in America, don't they just sell beers in six packs? You can't get. Can you mix your six packs in America? Say if you go along with your kind of like, I don't know, your basket or whatever. And of course, they're in six packs, aren't they? Can't you just take one beer out of one six pack, put it in it, and mix it up a bit? Or do you have to buy that whole six pack? Tell me in the comments, please, as I've never been to America in my life. It's one of them places which I should go to, but I've never really got round to. I know plenty of people have gone to America, but me. So tell me in the comments exactly what beers you've had, if you can do that. Matt Barker says founders, the grandfather of Barrel Agent. I suppose they are, yeah. Dean's Beer Reviews. Hello, Dean, mate. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to hear from you, mate. I'm doing fine, mate. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Did you find your phone? Because I know your phone got nicked from your towel lift. Tell me exactly if you got your phone back, mate. Let us know. Richard Elliott, House of Trembling Madness, a beer cupboard people would kill for at home. Yes, you're right. The House of Trembling Madness, the new one in York, it had exceptional range of beers in the Trembling Madness, the new one in York. The old version, they've kind of made it smaller in a way. They kind of cut half the beer shop off and put a wall up, which is kind of limited their variety of beers which is available. But both shops are great, and both shops are staying open, which is fantastic, because considering they were going to shut the old Trembling Madness shop in York because it was next door to Betty's tea shop and everything. Dean's Beer Reviews. Let's see what he comes up with. Got a new one. Thank God for that, mate. I bet you won't do that again. Yeah, Smackheads in Liverpool. Was it Liverpool? No, it's not Liverpool. Slough. I get mixed up because my father used to do your type of work. He used to go and do multi drops and that. He went to Liverpool once and he left his wagon out in Liverpool and it got stripped at the back and everything in about 5 minutes. But yeah, you could say that. So Dean, if you're watching, mate, I've just done some great beers from Aldi. I don't know if he reviewed them, and these were given to me actually, but they're well worth checking out. Is that one there? The old Jesse James. Have you done that, Dean? It's well worth checking out their little craft beer selection in Aldi. I thought I was quite impressed with it. I thought for the money, because they weren't that bad either. For the money, or a pound a bottle, they were very, very tasty. Arizona tourist. I was born in Detroit, Michigan, but my parent moved to Arizona when I was just 3 years old. Richard Elliott, bill of a risk, but that is opposite the York Armory. Stock up on beers and go and get some swords. Get some swords in York. Why not? You have done them, Dean. Yeah. I was pretty impressed with them, to be honest. For you can pay a lot more money for more expensive beer, and that tasted, that to me, they tasted just as good. It's just as good, but not like Wonder Beyond or anything exceptional, but it tasted better than what a lot of the beers for that price was. I just thought it was really, really good. It was definitely good for the price. Terry says, hello, Dean. Arizona says, hello, Dean. Yeah, it's cracking. So I'll just finish this off like you do. I'm going to crack at this one over now. The old Phantasma. I love the can size on it. Right, my question earlier, what prompted a little bit of a response was, if you're in America, and of course all the beers are in six packs in America, when you go into a shop, they're all together in six packs. My question was, could you mix them up? Could you? Is there a supermarket somewhere in America? This is how naive I am because I've never been American in my life. That you can go in with an empty kind of like carton and just pick randomly different beers and stick them in a mixed six pack to your choice. Um, Matt Barker says works out cheaper buying in packs, so it's more expensive buying. Yeah, I'd expect that, but would they let you do that, or do you have to buy that six pack? You know, if you pick that six pack of Lagunitas or whatever, you've got to buy that six pack and that's it. You can't, mix and match, pick and mix. Like I did in Woolworths with the sweets. You know, rubber bananas, bop, cola cubes, bop, cola bottles, bop, and then horrible frisbee things with the fizzy, space dusty, sherbety things in. Pop them in. Well, I bought a paint double barrel now. I didn't see it when I went, but I have 100% seen a pick of that available. Some places do let you mix and match. Yes, fair enough. I will try that next time I go to. I've never been American in my life, so I don't understand the different rules in America. Keenan, what's all that about? Why is jaywalking a kind of like an offence when you got people running around with guns? I don't know. Dean Legend on YouTube, like Jonathan. Thank you very much, Matt. I don't profess to be a legend. I just profess to be someone who drinks a lot of beer and talks a load of bollocks. But thank you very much all the same. I'll take that. How Arizona Tourist saying, how's it going? I just started joining the live chats. Welcome on my channel, Arizona. Finally got a laptop. You're more than welcome. Frisbee things. Here you go. Ryan Bryson Payne says, Frisbee things, they're UFOs, you turbo nonce. Well, thank you very much for telling me that, Ryan. Thank you very much. I haven't got a sweet tooth, mate. So how the hell am I supposed to know what they are in a pick and mix? You most probably haven't got any of your teeth left. I don't know. Matt Bug says you have to buy the pack. Arizona Tourist says, I'm not very good with computers. I'm just an old fart. Well, I'm not very good at computers, Arizona. I really ain't. I just put this in. I'm terrible. I mean, I've still got a Commodore 64. That tells you something, you know what I mean? Commodore 64. Never get rid of it. It's just, I come from it's from place from my childhood. You know what I mean? Commodore 64. Ryan Bossa Bay, double barrel name. All my teeth are intact. Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, Ryan. I hope they are. I hope they're all in touch. I hope they're all in one piece. J. Thomas, 55. Greetings from Ohio. Well, thank you for joining me, JT Thomas, 55. It's highly, highly appreciative that you have. From Ohio, I should have an American map behind me now because I've got a guy from Arizona, I've got a fella from Ohio. I haven't got a clue where anything is in America. He says, I just watched a review of Folding Mountain Pale Ale, saw you are on live. I was at Aldi yesterday and saw it and wanted to check reviews before I buy it. But thank you very much for watching me, Jay Thomas. Really, really appreciate it. Richard Elliott says, John Brown is more than a legend. He is the beer settler. Thank you very much, Richard. Thank you very much indeed. Highly, highly appreciated. Jay Thomas says, in many grocery stores, you can make your own six-pack, but you have to choose from a special section of single bottles or cans. Most places don't like you to break up existing six-packs. That's a bit of a bugger, that, isn't it? So it's one of them things, isn't it? When you do these, in America, I always thought that you had to stick with a six-pack, but it's just worth kind of asking people out there. Matt Barg says loads of ghosts at the Golden Fleece in York. So you stay at the Golden Fleece in York, Matt. Have you been on one of them ghost walks around York? Bound to be. If you believe in ghosts, I'm not going to say that you shouldn't believe in ghosts. I'm sure there's lots of ghosts out there. If you've been watching is the American thing, Ghost Hunters, is it? That's not bad. I quite like that. But that's that other one, the English version of the woman from Blue Peter. I can't remember. Something is it Most Haunted? Absolute pile of crap that is. Absolutely rubbish. Most Haunted. You can like following the camera around, and someone I saw it's one of their camera crew just gets something and throws it across the floor. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You know. I know what that's all about. Arizona tourist. Cheers from Arizona. Cheers as ever. Ohio from Michigan. JG Thomas, thank you very much for telling me that. I still have no idea where Ohio is. Honest, I'm really, when it comes to places in America or geographical places in America, I'm very, very thick because I've never been there in my life. I don't know where anything is. I know that New York's over there and about there. LA's over there, and that's about it, you know. Brian Bison Payne, double barrel name. Says Derek Akoa was classed as most haunted, proper funny. I've never seen that, to be honest. Brian Bison Payne, it sounds like you know you're most haunted. Tell me what the best episodes are to watch, because I'm telling you now, I watched one the other night and I just thought, what a load of rubbish. It really was. You know, you think yourself, whoa, it's kind of like someone just it just feels like, you know, they're just it's just you know, one of them things. Arizona tourists, how's the weather in Ohio? What's the time? It's spooky times, says Matt. Ryan Bison with the double barrel name. Search Mary. Is that right, Ryan? Search Mary Loves Dick, most haunted, legendary. I will do. You're not having me on, Ryan. I will do, mate. I would search for that. I'm sure it's going to be great. Like you do. Anyway, beer I'm drinking now. Very hot and humid today, very bright and staying inside in the air conditioning. So what's the temperature? Must be really hot in Ohio, JT Thomas. Tell us. Because I tell you what, in Yorkshire, in God's County, it's windy. It's warm, but it's windy, and that's about it in God's County. Ron Bison Payne says, 100%, mate. YouTube, I'm not having you on. He's getting a reading, and that's what he says. I'll tell you what, then, Ryan, I will look for that. I will look for that, definitely, and see if it's any good. I'm sure it will be, knowing you, because you got a dirty mind. So I'm going to go in with the old Phantasma. Cheers, everybody. It's quite bitter. I'll remember, actually. 6.5%. Yeah, it's nice. Nice beer. Dean's beer review says Google Hangouts will not be no more in a few months, mate. Why is that, Dean? I don't do Hangouts, so I've tried to go with a Hangout thing, but I've tried to do Hangouts with Beer Guru, Apprentice Reviews a while back, Panicos. Haven't heard from him for a while, but we never managed to do them. Never. Why is that, Dean? I'd like to know what Google Hangouts are going to be no more, because I'm not really. What's that? I'm not really up to date with technology, to be honest with you. I'm terrible, really terrible when it comes to that. I just do a beer review, stick it up, and yeah. Some people might think I'm antisocial by not doing Hangouts, but I'm not that really well versed with Hangouts, to be honest. Matt Barker says, "What have you reviewed for this week?" Well, this week's videos, 4 Aldi beers are coming out this week. The Jesse James, the Dry Hop Lager, the Queen Bee. Trying to think what else I've just done. the Dark Matters, and one from Mordew Brewery as well. Dean's Beer says, "Don't know, just YouTube, do it, ditching it." So I know Dean is quite popular in doing his ones without digestation. So get around that, was it just using Skype, or is it just one of them things you're just gonna say, just knock you on the head and just start doing more and more beer reviews? I'd like to know what way you're gonna approach it, Dean, because I know that this is a big fundamental thing with your channel. I know he says you should be okay still going live. Yeah, I mean, I started going live about 4 months ago because I thought that my channel was getting stale and I needed to just to do something different and just to interact with people more or less, and people especially watching. And I've really enjoyed it, so I'm going to carry on doing this. Might not every week, but I'm just going to carry on just having a chat and just seeing what's going on. Richard Elliott says, going to have a tap out of the Connacht. So, okay then, Richard, mate. Well, all the best, mate. Speak to you soon, Richard. Thank you for watching us. Dean Beers said, you should be okay still going live. Tuffler, what is your overall favourite beer? Matt Barker says, what's my overall favourite style of beer? It's a very hard question because I tend to kind of like look for the best in particular styles as opposed to having an overall favourite style. But I suppose you're asking me a question from a point of view, if I was walking into a pub, what would I go for in style? The more or less of what my favourite style would be reviewing beer. I'm not sure. I like double box. I like quads. So I'd say the darker beers I like a lot. It's a very hard question to answer. What is my favourite style of beer? Because I love all beer, so it all depends. But I tend to like beers from the darker side, the stronger side as well. So yeah, I would say double box, quads, something like that. Belgian quads, always like a good Belgian quad. Dean's Beer Review says Craig over at Kent Beer Reviews has found a new format. Oh, has he? I'll have to ask him about that because I'm on the lookout for Craig at the moment because he can't find the lost cosmonauts from North Brewing Company in Tesco's, and I've been looking for him, and they've sold out again. So I'm keeping my eye out for him. I think I don't know what it is with Tesco. I said it last week. I don't know what it is with Tesco's at the moment, but their distribution is absolutely shite because empty shelves where I am, especially with the unbarred stuff coming in. It's just empty when you go in there. They kind of like fill the shelves with older beers and stuff like that, and it's kind of like Yeasty Boys they put everywhere, just filled in the shelves with old Yeasty Boys beers and stuff like that. And I don't know why it's become like that. Oh, you got one then, Dean. Oh, fair enough. That saves me hassle then. That's all right. He would have got two cosmonauts. Arizona tourists. It's really hot in Arizona. 117 2 days ago. Wow, that is hot. I mean, crikey, if that ever got hot as that in old Blighty in England, I think everybody would be hitting the Pilsners and stuff like that. Matt Barker says, I agree. I think when people ask what your actual favourite beer is, you can't really answer, but my favourite style is more interesting. It's the New England IPA or stout. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if you're looking to say Tesco again, a lot of their beers are New England. And I do like them. I have to say, I love a cloudy beer, hazy beer, or as Dean says, a chicken stock beer. I love a beer what looks like that. It is class because you know that you're gonna taste something. You know it's got something in it worth tasting. So I've always done that. I do like stout. I like imperial stouts. Um, Dean Beer sells Dean's beer review is up there. Yeah, it is. It's. I don't know about you, Dean, but do you think it's more a relative new style of beer that it's just come to the forefront in supermarkets? I'm not sure, but I have to admit that the lot of the beers at the London Beer Factory I did last week, the Dance Juice, I really enjoyed. Terry's good beer review says bitters all the way. I do enjoy a good bitter as well, Terry. Yeah, traditional English bitter is still a really good pint. Um, and for me, Terry, I don't know if you reviewed Theakston's XB. That is a really good pint of beer. It is. It's lovely. It's lovely. So, boys and girls, I don't know if anybody else has reviewed it. Get yourself down to your local shop, get hold of a bottle of Theakston's XB because it's a cracking beer. That's my endorsement. But yeah, I do like a good beer. I think if I don't know, for me, bitters, it's kind of like when you walk into a pub of a certain kind of like what's the word, decorative pub. So if you went to oldie worldy pub with all the timber beams and it's low ceiling and everything's kind of like really oldie worldy looking, and it's all kind of like old furniture, warming fireplace and all that. Feels kind of like really traditional in the country English gentleman type of place. I think I would go for the bitter, definitely. But then if I go into a craft beer bar, I'm not going to go for bitter. It all depends where you are, I think. Um, Matt Barker says, I don't know if it's me getting snobby with different beers I've tasted now, but I only seem to really enjoy Imperial Stouts these days, although you do get special normal stouts like Sam Smith's. Imperial Stouts for me, I tend to have them now and again. Um, I have them now and again because I think, especially with me, if you have too much of one certain style of beer, you tend to get a little bit spoiled on that certain style of beer. For me, I like to mix and match. I like to have a lager maybe or an IPA just to mix it all around. When I do a beer reviews, I tend to mix everything around. I, that's the best thing I do, and that is the best way for me to review beer. If I ever when I do taste beers, I don't know if how anybody else does it. I have like a session of about 2 hours, line up some beers, but every beer will be from a different style, just to break it up and to get your palate more or less getting used to different styles of beer. Um, Dean's Beer Review says Theakston's makes some classic stuff that still holds. It does do, Dean. That's why I work for them. I work part time, Theakston. Um, I work at the brewery about 2 to 3 Saturdays a month. I'll be doing every Saturday at the moment. I've been kind of like doing selling. I'm selling. I've been selling at kind of like craft, like Yorkshire show and stuff like that from at the moment. I've been in the brewery a couple of times, but I'll tell you what, Dean, what I really like about Theakston's is when I went there, is that they first off, they're really nice people. Secondly, they do things in a traditional way. They've got their own cooper. They still do the wooden barrel. They still do the traditional style of beer. They still have a shy horse. They still deliver now and again on a shy horse. They still, yeah, you know, I'm there till the autumn anyway, and I've just wanted to do this to get more knowledge, to try to break out of my line of work, what I'm doing now, and maybe look elsewhere. And yeah, it's good. I wish I was paid in pints, Dean. It's just, you know, I'm bottom of the run at the moment. I'm just enjoying just being who enjoy a good pint of beer, if you know what I mean. But it's nice to work in a different environment, even if it's for a couple of Saturdays, 3 Saturdays a month. It's nice just to learn something different and to learn a little bit more about beer, because at the end of the day, um, I'm not the most knowledgeable person about beer. I like reviewing beer, but I wouldn't say I'm someone who's you could go to and find out everything. I'm not. I haven't got a brain as big as that. And like anything, like anybody who does beer reviews, you tend to make mistakes anyway. You tend to say something which you look back and you think, oh fucking hell, what would I say that for? But you know what I mean. Matt Bark says, add Thiegson's on draft first, then Hobgoblin. Massive difference. Hobgoblin is piss poor on draft, but decent from bowl. Hobgoblin is it's one of them beers which you get a lot of different remarks about. It's some people love it. I mean, some people adore it. Some people buy all the t-shirts. Some people really, it's got some real fan kind of like fan type of devotion. Hobgoblin, it really adds. It's the marketing, in regard to that beer is pretty good. You know what I mean? It's my own kind of like perspective on Hobgoblin is I like it. I like Hobgoblin. I prefer it in cans. Uh, I think I might review the Hobgoblin IPA from a can. I've never done that yet, but it's still a decent drop of beer. It's compared to some beers I've had. It's still it's bottom half of the table if you want to call it that, but it's not terrible. Certainly, certainly not as bad as what some people say it's all about. But what surprises me about Hobgoblin is the actual devotion people do show that brand, and you can go on the internet and you've got people with Hobgoblin t-shirts, and I absolutely love it. It's a marketing dream, that beer brand, and I think that's why Marston's bought it, because it is a marketing dream. It's just got everything from the marketing point of view. It's got everything, and and long may it continue. These beer reviews, drink and enjoy. That's what it's all about. It is. It is. It is. That's what it's all about. I mean, um, I'm not, I'm not bothered about subs. I'm not bothered about views. I'm not bothered about thumbs downs. I'm not bothered about thumbs up. You'll always get some twat that gives you a thumbs down, and I'm not bothered about that. At the end of the day, if you're honest to yourself when you do your beer reviews, that's what matters. And whoever watches it, God bless them. If they hate you, then I won't watch you, and God bless them. But if they do like you, then big thumbs up for me. But it's never been something like an approach. I'm the expert, and this is what I say, and this is what it is, and that's it. It's nothing. It's just normal blokes drinking, telling you what they think of it, and that's what makes it refreshing. That's what makes it different, because everybody's got different opinions on beer. What beer I find absolutely atrocious, another person out there reviewing it will find it absolutely brilliant. And that's what makes it all interesting. People with people with um, opinions on beer, which makes it so interesting for me. Watching other beer reviews, what they come out with, and what they do, and for me, it's all about having a laugh. Stick that camera on and have a laugh with it, and I've enjoyed it ever since, and I'll continue enjoying doing it, because it's just great. It's just laugh. And even though I'm fast approaching my 1,000th beer review, boys and girls, I'm very close to it. In fact, I think I was only about 20 away. I think the Clueless Drinker beat me. I think he's on his 1,000th now. I still enjoy it now, and we carry on doing what we're doing. We go forward. But what makes it the most interesting? Actually, Matt Barr says, I do like Hobgoblin bottle can, but I think it's awful on cask. Fair enough. What I find interesting is the fact, when I look back, if you look back to your old reviews, Dean, you must probably do that. You look back to your really early ones, and you look towards your most recent ones, and you could see how beer has changed over the periods of what you've had your channel, which I find interesting, because you find when you started out, it was it was, your real ale bottles. It was your real ale bottles from your shop, and Fuller's ESB, and your stuff like that, and your Shepherd Neame 1698 and stuff like that. Then you look forward, then it gets to a point where everything changes to cans, the brightly coloured cans, Beavertown, Cloudwater. Then it goes on and on and on, and suddenly Wander Beyond comes out. And you can see, if you look through the whole body of your reviews, how much beer has changed in brewers, in what's coming out, and you can see where you bought them, where a certain section of when Tesco brought out their Redwell beers, and you go along, and you got the Oscar Blues, and you go and you further on, and you get to your Wander Beyond. You can see the whole body, because I feel like if you've been reviewing beer for a very long time, when you look at your old videos, it's like a whole body of work. It's a whole body of work, because you're looking and you can see how you changed personally, visually, your style of reviewing as well. From being nervous at the beginning to getting cocky and having a laugh, and you can see it all. And it's so interesting to look back on old videos. Stuff what you done when you first started. It's so great, and you can see how you've developed as a reviewer as well, how your confidence has built up, and how you've kind of embraced it more. It's fantastic. Here we go. Bum, bum, bum. No such thing as an expert. That's right, Dean. There's no such thing as a expert. Thousands beer. Is it going to be Guinness or Wander Beyond? That's a choice I've got, Matt, at the moment. Is it going to be a Wander Beyond beer, or is it going to be Guinness Draft, which I've never reviewed on this channel? Who knows? Paul's beer reviews. Hello, Paul, mate. Nice to you to join us. Totally agree. I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about, but I bloody enjoy it. That's a fantastic attitude to have, and well, you must bloody enjoy it, because everybody likes enjoying watching you. So that's what it's all about. Dean's beer review says it was so expensive for breweries to can a beer a few years ago. I guess I've made it more affordable. I guess so, but I do think that part of it's gone with a trend now. Within the presentation of beer, I think the people or the brewers who really are at the forefront for me at the moment is Wander Beyond, because not only is the beer exceptional, the presentation of their cans is exceptional. It's above everybody else. Matt Barker says, my opinion, Verdant Cloudwater, amazing beers, and Wander Beyond have come and taken it to. They really have. Terry says, evening, Paul. Evening, Paul. Paul's beer review says, hello, Terry. Cheers, fella. Hope you're well. We all hope you're well, Terry. We all hope you're well, mate. So I'm just going to dig into this. Cheers, everybody. If you've only just joined us, I'm drinking that one there. Phantasma Farm Magic Rock. Nice beer. Nice beer indeed. So let's recap what we talked about. We talked about a lot of beer tonight, which is fantastic. We're not talking about anything else, which is fantastic, because sometimes it just, deviates from what people's channels and interests is all about. So Certificate Beer Review says, been out and about, sampling a few beers. I'm happy as Larry. Nice one. Beers you've had. Matt Barker says, I've seen your review, a couple of Wander Beyond. Was it IPA mint? I can't quite remember. The other beer I did, I got the can over there, was the Bloom, Wander Beyond Bloom, which was I can't remember what it was now. Imperial Stout, was it? 11%. It was 11%. It was cracking beyond belief. It's beautiful. You can't get. Wander Beyond was fantastic. It really was. He bought that today from Trembling Madness. Trembling Madness 2 or Trembling Madness 1, Matt? Let us know. I think the Trembling Madness 2 had more Wander Beyond in. I'll be doing. Sounds good, mate. I don't know. Let's go, Bob. Bob. Paul's beer review. Sounds good, mate. I've been doing the same. Cloudwater takeover and my local beer shop, and the light lager was stunning. I do like Cloudwater. I do like Cloudwater. I've got a couple of beers into review. Bought them this week. A sour one of them. I can't remember what it's called now. But one of the one of the best beers, one of my favourite beers I've done on this channel was the Cloudwater Magic Rock collab. I did it about 2 years ago, 3 years ago even. When Cloudwater, everything from Cloudwater was in the bottle, and I can't remember what it's called now. Matt Barker says Brew York overall have become my favourite UK brewer. Brew York, I'm always a fan of Brew York. I've always been a big fan of Brew York. There's something about them. Actually, I'll get a couple of cans out what I've had before, and I'll show you what I've had. It's what ones I've kind of like really rate from Brew York. Now, these two here. Don't know if anyone's had that one. I think Beer Dad's tried that one. That was really good from Brew York. Collaboration with Aura. Gelato Porter. It was lovely beer. That one there, the Skoda War, was a favourite of mine. That was a fantastic beer. That's the Cherry and Tonka Quad, 11.5%. That was a really good beer. It really was. I'm always a big fan of Brew York. Always look for Brew York beers. Not just in York, I always buy Brew York beers. But if I can go anywhere else, I tend to pick them up if I see them. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Brew York. Maybe their popularity did do harm to the York Brewery. I don't know. It could have, which would have been a real shame. But if more and more people would have levitated towards Brew York beers instead of York Brewery beers, I could see why York Brewery had trouble continuing. Dean's Beer Reviews, Wander Beyond and their session strength beers. I haven't had any of their session beers from Wander Beyond, to be honest. Skoda War was amazing, mate. Their beers are so good. I'll give it another year and they will be what Tiny Rebel are. I think, I'll be honest with you, I've watched bits of Tiny Rebel. Tiny Rebel, their brewery looks really good, doesn't it? It does look spot on, their brewery, their tap house, the tap room, whatever you're going to call it. I saw Simon, real guide. He went around it. It looked really good. New York hasn't got that type of what's the word? It hasn't. Well, the brewery at Tiny Rebel state of the art. You can see it. It looks mint. The Brew York brewery is a little bit small, a little bit compact inside. I think it needs investment. Maybe they should move to bigger premises. Should. I think they will at some point. But in regards to quality of beer between the two brewers, I think Tiny Rebel and Brew York are about the same for me. I think Brew York is just as exciting a brewer as what Tiny Rebel is. To be honest, I think they are very much equal because both beers from both camps, I think, are pretty outstanding. Tiny Rebel for me, I've had Tiny Rebel. I've had the Pump Up the Jam, which was great novelty beer, if you want to call it a novelty beer. I had the Tropicana one a while back. Never reviewed it, but yeah, it was all right. But the beer for me, which really hit home how good Tiny Rebel were, was the Stay Puffed. I thought that was excellent. I thought that was really good. Haven't had the Imperial one yet, but it's nice just to review the normal Stay Puffed. The bog standard one, if you want to call it that. It was a lovely beer. Really enjoyed it. It's a special beer for me. But saying that, I think both brewers, Brew York and Tiny Rebel, very similar in ways. Very similar. They like to. Um, I know that Brew York like to collaborate more, I think, than Tiny Rebel does. Um, but they're very, very similar for me, and the quality of beers are very, very similar as well. I think the beers are from both breweries are really, really good, and I really, really enjoy them. I really do. I think definitely the future of beer in this country. I think the two major players just wish that Brew York had a better brewery, a better play, better tap room, a lot, would be really good. But for me, it's the beer, the quality of the beer what matters, and I think both breweries produce some pretty good stuff, pretty exceptional stuff, and stuff that you can really, really enjoy. Um, Paul's Beer Review says, love Tiny Rebel. Just come home with a couple of big Arbor ones. Never had anything by them. Looking forward to reviewing them. Any opinions on Arbor? I did have the Waikikamook out, the bottle one. I had the big bottle. Oh, about a couple of years ago. I enjoyed it. That's the only Arbor beer I've had. I think is it Arbor available now in Marks and Spencer? I'm not too sure. Not available up here in Marks and Spencer. So the cans, the 440 cans, available in Marks and Spencer elsewhere. But me personally, I think Arbor beers, yeah, they're not bad at all. Very nice, very nice. I think you enjoy it, Paul. I think you won't have really a bad thing to say about Arbor once you think they're pretty good beers. Matt Barker says, me personally, I think Brew York have more bigger hitters. And have you been to the upstairs in Brew York? That's pretty plus food. It's Tiny Rebel a lot bigger. I think Tiny Rebel Brewery is a lot modern and it's a lot bigger. Um, Bearing in mind, I've never been to Tiny Rebel. It's what I've seen on the internet. It looks very, very modern. It looks, it's purpose built. It's in a industrial state somewhere. I think it's Newport, Tiny Rebel. It just looks state of the art. Um, New York, when I went over a year ago, so I've never been upstairs in it. For me, it was just kind of like a long walkway with a bar, some tables, and you can see you know the brewery behind it. But I couldn't really make out much else. I didn't know he had it upstairs, so most probably didn't have it upstairs when I went uh, over a year ago now. So yeah, when I go to Brew York, I'll have a look. Is Tiny Rebel a lot bigger? Where distribution's concerned, where whoever's in whatever parts of the country, it's whoever gets easier find for them. I mean, Tiny Rebel, didn't they go with Beer 52? Is it Beer 52 Tiny Rebel? So that is a big outlet to get involved with. Nationwide Beer 52. So um, it's it's all down to distribution. It's how people get to know your brewery. So it's very hard to really find out, which brewer's better or bigger. I think they just produce both brewers tend to produce great beer. Dean's beer reviews. How many of them Aldi beers did you only got? I've got four. It was the Optical Illusion from Sadler's, which was excellent. I did the Queen Bee from Hog, which was pretty good as well, to be honest. I thought it was. And of course, Jesse James and Dark Matters. And all of them I thought were okay. They were okay beers, and for the price, if you bring the price into it, they're worth it. They're worth what you're getting in that glass is worth for the money you put out. Matt Barg says, to be fair, Brew York only 2 years old. I think it's new it's new. They now have a massive upstairs there with main wall taps and I'll have a look at that next time I go, Matt, because Brew York went like that when I went. Milton, a boat. Hello again, sir. Hello, Milton, mate. Nice to hear from you, mate, as always. Thanks for watching, as always. Just got to go in again with this. Too much talking at the moment. It's preventing me from drinking. So cheers, everybody. Yeah. Bitter, refreshing. It's what you want from a beer. Like you do. I'll stick these back in a minute. Yeah, anyway, anybody that haven't been to Brew York or tried Brew York beers, try them too. I like them. That's why I keep the cans. Cracking beers, cracking them. Really enjoyed them. Also, the bourbon stout from Bad Company. It's a good one as well. If you get hold of that. Bad Company beers are appearing everywhere where I am at the moment. So pick one up when you can. Matt Barker says, when we meet up, we will go, mate. We will be impressed. But one thing I don't agree with, it's a craft beer scene with stupidly expensive food. Have we noticed this with craft beer places? Yes, I have. Best thing to do is to basically just drink the beer and bugger off somewhere else to get a burger. That's the way to do it, mate. That's the way to do it. Get yourself a cheap burger. But everything's got a price, and exclusivity of craft beer, the exclusivity word always comes into account, doesn't it, at the end of the day? Terry's Quick Beer Review says, do you have any micro pubs around your way? There is 2 in Richmond. Richmond, not Richmond, London. Richmond, North Yorkshire, which is about 3 miles that way. That's my local town, Richmond. And we have a pub called the Bishop Blaze. It's in the centre of Richmond, and they have a little microbrewery in the back of the pub, and they're serving beer over the bar and that, which I've been in there once and I really can't. Yeah, it's nice. Only problem when I went in there, it was very, very crowded. I couldn't get to the bar, which is a bit of a pain. But there's another one in Richmond, which is just around the corner. It's like a cafe with like a little brewing thing at the back of the cafe. I can't remember the name of the place now. I think it's called Number 24. Not sure, but yeah, that did some exciting stuff. It's always nice to have, nice stuff. Matt Barker says, exactly when Brew York had Doc's Beers takeover was like £7 for a cheese sandwich. I walked straight to takeaway and got a big pizza for £6.50. That's fair enough, Matt. Matt Barker says, Tiny Rebel taking over Doc's Grimsby in next Saturday, mate. Hope you go in to the takeover at Doc's Beers in Grimsby, Matt. Let us know what it's all about. Dean's Beer Review says, are Bad Seed Brewery still going? Yes, they are, Dean, because I was at the Beer and Bread Festival on behalf of Theakston in Fountains Abbey in Yorkshire about 4 weeks ago, selling beer, and opposite me there was a big trade stand with Bad Seed Brewery written on, and they were doing a Pilsner, and they were also doing I think it was a double IPA. I can't remember, but there was a young chappie in charge of it, and he was actually mentioning to me that they're not selling as well as what they should be, put it that way, but they are still going. And I do like Bad Seed Brewery. They did some nice beers. Matt Barker says, I will go for a couple. Hope it's better than the Brewdog takeover. I was disappointed in that. Well, like them or loathe them, Brewdog are a staple of, they are a giant within the craft beer industry, and you'll always have a giant in the craft beer industry. Like it or hate them, they are here to stay. Fair enough. They might not, some people might not think they're cutting edge to what they used to be. I'm always been a big fan of them. I'll be honest with you, some of the beers which have appeared in shops have been a little bit inconsistent, especially their seasonal range in the big bottles. I won't even go there with it. I'm not a fan. But when I do a good beer, they do produce a good beer, and and that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Um, Dean's Beer Review says had a few from them when I first started at Hefeweizen. I think it was. Yeah, I've never had that, Dean. I think they still do it. Yeah, they're still going. I mean, it's like Walltop Brewery, which is quite near to them as well. I don't know if you had any Walltop beers, Dean. Um, they're kind of like the same. They're kind of like they're in the area. They're producing the same amount of beer, the same quality of beer, which is good. The Battersea Brewery beers are good quality. They're good. They're good beers. But I think, like anything, and this is a problem I think the industry might get as we go along, is that with the influx of brewers, the influx of breweries, it's only going to be the strong what's going to survive in this game. And I think with a lot of, you know, problems with Bad Seed or even Walltop may have. I know Walltop do that toast beer in Tesco. I've never done it. But the problem with these brewers have is that there's always somebody coming along um, and it's all about marketing in a way. Marketing is such a big thing, and if they've got the backing to market something which is more um, accessible to the public, they're going to win, aren't they? And so that's why I've made a conscious effort to start to look back towards proper real ale again, just to start to do some more beers from small local brewers, because at the moment it's going a little bit too far the other way for me. It feels like the smaller brewers aren't getting any exposure, even the same shelves in a farm shop as with craft beers or whatever. I like to kind of take a step back and maybe just go and start reviewing, you know, your smaller producers as opposed to your up and coming craft beer. That's what I'm gonna try to do in the future. Brew Your Cake with their takeover was left very impressed. Brew Dog felt like a half-assed effort. I'm sure Tiny Rebel will put on something good. I hope they do, Matt. Doc Spears, hope they do. These beer reviews, like you said about branding, it plays a does. It really does. Irrespective of how good that beer is in the bottle or can or whatever, people gravitate towards whatever that can looks like. You can totally deny it if you want, but it's the truth. Eyes are a big thing when you buy a beer. You got a can of, a really nice looking can like that, or do you go for a bottle which is not as nice looking, but it takes everything into account. And I suppose that's why um, a lot of certain brewers are getting more successful than others, because I think the way they present their beer, the way they brand it, the way they decorate the cans or the bottles or whatever, it does play a massive part in what you buy. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's there. It's there. Your eyes are very much part of it. You know. Um, Matt Barker says, got a Bad Seed IPA from Trembling Man. It's never which one I bought. Fair enough. Yeah, there's a problem. That's sort of the problem I have, is when you reviewed a lot of beers, and especially from a brewer which is going to like have similar branding and similar labels. I don't know about you lot, but I tend to get a little bit mixed up of what I've reviewed and what I haven't reviewed. And I'll take a little list of what I've reviewed, but you always kind of like look back on it and you think to yourself, have I done that one or not? And I do get muddled up. do get muddled up. The more beers you do, the more you get muddled up. Um, Milton says, "Have you had Tusker Lager?" I haven't, mate. Do emphasise to me exactly what Tusker Lager is all about. Dean's Beer Review says, "Left-handed giant have some loud hard work." I haven't had any left-handed giant beers, Dean. But we'll look out for them. You know, as always, I tend to just go for beers in the shops. I never mail order. I never order stuff um, from beer outlets or whatever like that. I just go to the shop and pick whatever I see. You know. Matt Barr says, Richard said, "Have you had rhubarbs?" Do you know what? That is my next brew your beer, which I'm gonna do. The rhubarb Streisand. It's on the list. I most will review it about after me holiday. After I come back from Costa's, it's one of the first ones. My local does it. The rhubarb Streisand. Yeah, it's on the list. I'll be doing it. Definitely. Can't wait to try it. I love the name Rhubarb Streisand. You can't beat that, can you? You really can't. So, boys and girls, it's been a pleasure tonight. I have to say, it's been really, really good. I've really enjoyed talking to you all. I've really enjoyed talking to any comment you boys and girls put in. I will always answer because I appreciate your support as ever. I appreciate all your comments and I appreciate all your views. At the end of the day, we're all in it together and we love doing what we do. So I'm going to knock this one on the head and say to you boys and girls, well, mostly boys, to have a really, really good Saturday night. I'll be back on about this time next Saturday if you want to drop a line and say hi or whatever. As ever, it's always a pleasure talking to you boys. Got a comment with Matt Barger. What do you think to fish finger buns and a few beers at home? My favourite on a Friday night. It sounds fantastic. Milton says Tuscan is an African beer, very popular, owned by Guinness. I will certainly look at that, Milton. So, boys and girls, I'm gonna knock off. Thank you again for watching us. You all stars. I've got to try and end this stream because it's a bugger to end, but I shall keep talking until I finish. And it's come up with something else on the screen because I need to go and have something to eat now because I'm Hank Marvin. That's Cockney for all you non-Cockneys are starving. Hank Marvin, like you do. So here we go. Thank you very much.